Hello, everyone, and welcome to Progress with Portia, where we have real conversations to progress individuals and communities. I'm so excited today to have my special guest, Dr. Nicole Thomas, DNP, RN, CCM. Now, she's going to tell us what all those letters mean. All we know is that she's very educated. She knows what she's talking about. She is an award. She's an award-winning nurse leader. She guides nurses in building and sustaining meaningful careers and increases their asset value. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, I love this line. Like, what is that? The elevator pitch, the tagline. They say you have to be able to say it in real quick.
Right.
I was like, that's perfect.
Right.
And she is the creator of the Nurse Power Network. So thank you so much, Dr. Nicole, for joining me. So she's going to be talking with us today about the Nurse Power Network. And so welcome, welcome, welcome.
I'm excited to be here. Truly, truly excited.
Yeah, so we want you to just tell us a little bit about who you are and how you came up. Tell us about Nicole Thomas and the Nurse Power Network, and tell us how you created that.
Yeah. So just a little bit about me. Born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, really and truly started my professional career, so to speak, in 2005 when I went to the Southern University
Okay.
to get my bachelor's degree in nursing. I had the opportunity when I was in high school to be a part of the medical magnet program at Glen Oaks High School. And it was a program, I was one of the very first cohorts to go through that program, but it was a program really and truly to provide opportunities and exposure to students that really and truly didn't have the opportunity. Let's just be honest. Glen Oaks is not the best area, so to speak, for education. And so that program was brought there so that they can let us know what the different career options were. So
Right.
I can vividly remember, being a part of that program, going to the hospital where we went to do our little shadowing and all these things, and seeing these nurses that were just boss, that were just, running things and saving lives. And, I've always been that person to talk to people to say, tell me more about this. Like, I'm intrigued. I want to know a little bit more about that. And one of the things that one of the nurses told me was just about all of the different opportunities that she had and all of the different things she had done. And being very transparent, my reason for becoming a nurse is not like most people that's, going to nursing, which I absolutely love when they say, oh, I just knew I wanted to do it. My heart is in it, or, whatever the typical story is, which is great. I love their story. For me, being very honest and transparent, I needed something to get me out the hood. I needed something that can get me out the hood, that could consistently provide me with employment, that could consistently provide me with opportunities, because I learned very, very, very young the importance of being able to build relationships and leverage relationships. Right? And I learned that in high school, actually. That's really, really where I learned that. And so, bam, when I talked to her and she told me this, I'm like, there it is. I'm going to be a nurse, right? So again, started my nursing career in 2005. I've had a very, very eventful nursing journey. And what I mean by that, it's definitely been a journey, because truthfully, the whole 3 years in, I wanted out. I wanted nothing to do with nursing. It was not what I thought it was going to be. Those opportunities that I knew about, they weren't coming in like I needed them to come. I tried to do the profession 3 times. I thought, let me go be a lawyer, let me go do something else, but it did not work. So I vividly remember coming home from a 12-hour shift one night, literally crying in the shower, like, God, you got to handle this one. This is your problem. I'm not getting into your business. I need you to step up and handle your problem and show me what I need to be doing. And so it was in that moment where I really surrendered. I really did. Show me what you want me to do with my nursing career. And from there, I promise you, Portia, I'm not going to say that it's been an easy journey. It's still a continual journey of learning, but the journey has been beautiful. The journey has been me becoming. The journey has been me being in health on purpose. The journey has really and truly aligned with who Nicole is at the core, outside of just being a nurse, what I do in my day in and day out. And so, one of the things that I've been afforded the opportunity to do throughout my career was serve as the youngest nurse exec for a Fortune 7 managed care organization. And I always credit that organization with the success of Nicole, right? because one thing that they did, they taught me how to be a leader. They taught me how to not just show up, but when you show up, you go show up, right? They really, really, really taught me that. They taught me so many different things about being a leader that I've been able to take into everything else that I'm doing. And so how Nicoles Thomas Inc. came about is when I was serving in that role. One of the things that was always important to me was to have a relationship with the staff, right? So I had managers that reported up to me, and then the supervisors reported to the managers and the team leads and then the staff, right? So I didn't really have a whole lot, or was not the way the org chart was set up, so to speak. Didn't really have to have a lot of interaction with the staff, right? I mostly talked to the managers, or should have talked to the managers, but that's not me. I'm a relationship person. I would tell the managers, no disrespect, I'm going to, of course, let you do your job. I'm not here to micromanage you because I don't micromanage, but I want to know who. I want to know who in the room. Like, I want to know who we got here. And so what I used to do, Portia, was I would just have like these intimate one-to-ones with them. Let's just schedule a one-on-one. Let's just talk. This is a safe space. Let's just talk. Let's just talk about you, your future, what you want to do, all of these different things. And one of the consistent things that always came up would be them asking me, how did you do it? How did you, this Black woman, become a nurse exec? At the time, Portia, I'm 38. So at the time, I must have been late 20s, early 30s. I was in my late 20s. How did you do it? Like, what did you do? And so when I started to share with them my journey and the strategic moves that I made, because I'm a very, very strategic person, I started to realize that nurses did not understand the power that they had within them. They did not understand how their nursing degree is really their biggest asset that they have. And you can take that damn degree to do anything it is that you want to do. You just have to know how to do it strategically and intentionally. And so I literally started helping the staff to develop themselves, right? So whether that was me knowing that they wanted to become a speaker, I would find opportunities within the company that I knew the company was paying for that may fit them to go do that. I was never that person that was like, oh no, this is your job, you're going to stay here and do that. That's what I did, right? And so it was during that where Nicoles Thomas Inc. was kind of born, because I realized if it's happening right here under my nose, it's happening everywhere. And so from there, Nicoles Thomas Inc. was born to help nurses to build meaningful and sustainable nursing careers while increasing their asset value. Because one of the things with nurses, and one of the perceptions, of course, everybody think we make a whole lot of money, right? We make pretty fair, right? But it's not, a whole lot compared to the work we do, honestly. But one of the other perceptions is that nurses, you have to lead and do everything with your heart. And here's what I mean by that. While I absolutely 150% agree that in order to do this, you have to have the heart for it, right? I believe that. But at that same time, I want my money.
Right.
And I don't think that anything is wrong with nurses saying, yeah, I got a heart for it. I love it, but pay me. Pay me every quarter that I deserve. Learning how to build themselves up so that when they go into these rooms and go into these spaces and they're saying, we want you to come on our team. We want you to do all these great things because I'm so great. Okay, cool, great, fine, dandy. Let's talk about the money. And here's why I'm worth that. And so that's really and truly been my mission through Nicoles Thomas Inc. Absolutely, positively love it. It really and truly took off a life on its own, and it's just been a phenomenal journey, and it continues. 2020 definitely propelled. Nurses, they realized during that pandemic, I gotta shake something, like something somewhere. It's more, and so it's just been a great journey with Nicoles Thomas Inc.
Well, it's amazing to hear. And, I've been watching from a distance and watching, as you have and I didn't see the very beginning. I've only, been in contact with you for a short period of time and been following you, but I've seen the progression even in that short period of time and the growth that you have exhibited. And I've been amazed, and I've been empowered and encouraged, as even though I'm not a nurse, being a social worker, And this is what I realized. Like sometimes we follow people and we think we know what they do, but then I asked you for this interview, and as I was looking on your website, because I would always think, I wonder if she will ever do anything for social workers. Like because we need this too. Like there's other professions, other professionals out there that could benefit from this, and I could really just see this expanding so big. I was like, I could totally see her being a billionaire. I know you got your property stuff going on and all that, and I was like, I just see like this really huge vision. And so I was looking on your site and it said allied health professionals as well. And I was like, oh, well, does she already do that? I've been watching, thinking I knew. So I bought your book. I bought the Kindle and the regular, and the regular book so I could read it. I was like, wait a minute. But I've been telling my nurse friends all about yes, in health on purpose. And so I said all that, and I know you just mentioned COVID-19 and nurses, and just how much they had to sacrifice and put on the line, and how hard they had to work. And then, like you said, and just basically, I can only imagine the vulnerability the vulnerable places it put the nurses in. So that, like, it's one thing if you decide to do that, but if you feel like this is all there is for me to do, if you wanted to make a decision to be at home with your family or to do other things or to serve in a different capacity, I just love that you're empowering and providing other opportunities, because these agencies and working in the medical field, again, I'm not a nurse, but as a social worker, just seeing how locked in, tied down you are, bound to, and like you said, the pay is not always as great as the demand of the work and what's expected of you. So how did you mention COVID-19? How did COVID-19, because you just said it kind of expanded for you. So can you tell us about like that impact of COVID-19?
Yeah. To be honest, for me, COVID-19, not that I wanted to see the mass destruction that it did to the world, the mass destruction that it did to families, the mass destruction and the lives that it took. Definitely didn't want to see that. On the flip side of that, COVID-19 is what I needed. Let me tell you why. I needed it because I needed to get to a space where I had to understand, Nicole, you're not going as hard as you should be going. Right? And what I mean by that is the world stopped. The world literally stopped. Everything shut down. It stopped. And it was during that time where you're at home. I was fortunate to where I continued to work, right? I work in academia primarily. And so, the students were still in school. We were trying to, do it as best as we could so that they can still stay on their plan of study and circulate through the curriculum like they should. So I was fortunate enough to be able to do that. But the reality of it is, Portia, my husband had to come home. He works in a plant. They send the plant people home, right? My sisters, they had to come home. Like people close to me had to come home. And it's kind of like, okay, I'm home. These bills gotta be. Energy still sent their bill. Penny Mac still sent that mortgage. Even though you could defer, what she was telling you was at the end of this deferment, you're gonna give me all my money. Okay? So it was during that time that I knew that I wasn't going as hard as I should have been going. And what I mean is really and truly sacrificing financially like I should, building myself up, not just to have money, but to build wealth, right? To build spaces and to build opportunities where those individuals who, are connected to me can still eat, because I'm all about not only making sure that I eat, but everybody around me eat. And so COVID, it lit a fire under me. It did, to let me know you need to get your money all the way together. You thought you had it together until then people sent your husband home and you realized it was together, but you needed to get it together, right? Because you don't know how long this is going to last. It let me know just, from a perspective of even having other streams of income. If you have a tenant in one of your properties and the government is telling you ain't got to pay your rent, I get that. I respect that. But guess what? That mortgage company still want that. They still want their payment. So it was just those type of things that it lit a fire under me to want to do more, to build. And so I just hope that everybody is able to find something that COVID taught them. It was
Yeah.
also able to teach me the importance of just being.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I learned, Portia, the power of having so much with having nothing.
Mm.
Having so much, but having nothing. Because we literally became restricted to the minimalist lifestyle possible in
Right.
your house, in your four walls, with your loved ones who sometimes you want to strangle throughout this process.
Right.
But Portia, what I got through that by letting go of everything else, the distractions, having to go here, the having to go there, this, that pulling me, I gained so much more. I gained better relationship with my husband, better relationship with my kids, even though some days I had to go take a walk. But just
Yeah.
being, right? And so that's something else that it just taught me. And so honestly, now as the world gets back to normal, which I don't know what normal is going to look like, for me, my normal is less. I'm doing less to get more. That's what I'm doing now. And so I just hope that people are able to find something throughout that journey.
Right. That's good. Now, and then I know you said these good things came. Have you had any setbacks, whether it was through COVID-19 or before then? And if you did, how did you maintain your vision through those setbacks? Because there's somebody else out there building, or someone who's trying to create their vision and they have an idea, but they don't fully know what it is. And so how do you encourage somebody who's facing these setbacks? Like, what was it that helped you to keep going?
Yeah. So during COVID, I have to be honest, from a business perspective, I probably did my best, honestly, during COVID. So I didn't have a lot of business setbacks. I did have my own personal health setbacks in that I began to take my health for granted, right? Sitting at home, nowhere to go. It's a casual Wednesday. My husband at home. So, hey, let's pull out the barbecue grill. Like, let's do all of this, right? Gained a ton of weight during COVID, and my body started to let me know. I also realized during that time that that's when I needed my health to be at its optimal space, right? So that was one lesson I learned. But just for anyone that's facing opposition, period, because you can face it at any time, right? I've definitely faced my fair share. One of the most notable stories that I always share with people is a business venture that I did out in 2018, where I invested $60K of my own money out of my bank account. Not loans, not credit cards, out of Nicole's bank account, and I lost it all in the business deal. The business just did not work out. And you talk about a lesson on rock bottom. Okay. What I learned though, Portia, is the lesson, the failure, whatever it is needed. It's needed to prepare you at that level for what's getting ready to come at the next level. I needed to know what it's like to lose $60,000. So as God continues to elevate me to my next level, if I lose $150,000, I already know what that's like because it's a new level.
Yeah.
Right. So what I'm saying is, my advice to people will be to understand that it's a part of the journey that has to happen.
Yeah.
It has to happen. And what I've learned is to embrace it because it's teaching me something. Portia, every single thing that has happened to me, I have learned something from it. And I've been able to implement different strategies. I've been able to help other people say, nope, don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it, because this is how it worked out for me, right? And not that I'm trying to project my fears or my situation on me. Let me just show you a better way. Now I know that with any business that I do, I'm not putting my own money, business credit, right? So it's those type of things, not telling them not to do it, because I never want to be the person to project my fears on someone else. But let me tell you a better way. Now I know to never, ever, ever put my own money. Let me gamble with somebody else's money. Right. And if it don't work out, then that's your money I lost. Right. Not that I want to do that, but you know,
I get it. Right.
So that would be the lesson, the advice I would give them. Also to know it's a point in time in building, period. Your career, your business, your family, whatever. You got to learn how to clap for yourself.
Yeah.
Every day is not going to be a peachy day.
Yeah.
Every day people are not going to be telling you, girl, you're doing good. I like that. This is cute. Liking, support. It's not going to be like that. You have to be your own hype man.
Yeah.
And in that I learned, and one of my great friends told me, Nicole, your business don't care about your feelings. It is what it is. I know you're down. I know you're depressed. I know that this is going on. Cool, fine, dandy. Feel it, but don't stay there, because your business does not care about your feelings. It has to keep going. Your profession, your career, it does not care. Right. So just know that you got to push through that. That's where you get it. That's the beauty of the journey, man. And then when you get over that, you're like, God, that's what you were trying to teach me. I get it. I get it. I get it. So yeah.
That's good. And I hear, we hear that a lot about the journey, and really, like you said, just embracing it. And I do agree, when we learn how to not fight the journey and not kick and scream through it, but really understanding that's where that faith or that trust comes in, that it's going to work for my good. That, whatever I go through, no matter how bad it looks, if I can keep going, and if I just keep striving, and if you have that faith, hope, or trust in something, something higher than, that it will get better, and that is nothing is for naught. And so it definitely it makes a difference in that process, and we can have like that joy that the world didn't, like I said, the world didn't give to you. Your business doesn't give you joy, that joy and that inner peace, and not making our joy contingent upon our success.
Yes, that part. That part. I learned how to be happy and have joy when my bank account was in the negative in 2018. Right. It's just being real. Right? It didn't feel good. It wasn't like that initially. It took my husband saying, "What you tripping for? We got it one time, we're gonna get it back tenfold." Believe that. Okay. And so it was me still. Most people that don't even know that. Most people do not know that from 2018 to 2019, I was simply trying to rebuild back up.
Yeah.
Most people, when they look, they're like, "Girl, I don't know that. I did not know that." Tanisha tells me all the time, our trainer, because that's when I started training with her.
Yeah, okay.
And she knows the story now, and she knows how those extra pushes that she gave me in the gym, it was more mental for me to get my head back in the game. But even then, she's like, "Nicole, I did not know." And that's because I found joy, like true happiness and joy. True happiness and joy. Now, I don't want to be broke no more, Portia. I'm just
I understand.
Okay. But it's that true joy. Yeah. So that's why I'm not swayed now by money.
Yeah.
You still gonna pay me what I'm worth. You still gonna run my coins, right? I'm still a money magnet. God sends me money from the north, the south, the east, and the west. Money flows to me. I don't have to work hard for money, right? The money doesn't move me.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't move me at this point.
Yes, that part right there. That's so powerful. And you mentioned about the health and the working out, and even how that during that time it kind of helped you. What role has working with a trainer impacted your journey? Like, has it impacted you at all? Has it helped you?
Absolutely. First off, from a health perspective, I started working out with my trainer in 2018. At that time, when I really hit rock bottom, I let my entire self go. I've shared pictures of what I looked like, which was most people like, "That was you?" Yeah, that was me. And so it was definitely because I knew I needed to get the weight off. I knew what it was going to do health-wise. But I also knew that I had to push myself mentally in a different direction. I needed to challenge myself and get my head back in the game. And so that's what it started off as for me. And then in 2020, actually during the pandemic, I was diagnosed with a phyllitis tumor in my breast, which is a very, very, very rare tumor. Praise the Lord, mine was benign, but I still have to do continual follow-ups. Only like 1% of the population have these tumors. And so that really catapulted